Hello students, welcome to one more class. Now we're gonna have grammar practice lesson 15. Simple present tense, information questions. Form information questions in the simple present tense by placing do or does before the subject and adding a question word. Example, Valerie lives in Vancouver. This is affirmative. Interrogative, does Valerie live? Question word, where? Where does Valerie live? Valerie lives in Vancouver. Now we're gonna have practice. A. Supply do or does to complete these present tense questions. 1. Where Sam live? Sam could be a man or it could be a woman. So, where does Sam live? 2. How often you go to the movies? You go. How often do you go? How often do you go to the movies? 3. What time the plane leave? The plane, the airplane, it. What time does the plane leave? What time does the plane leave? 4. What language besides English your teacher speak? What language your teacher is he or she? So, what language besides English does your teacher speak? Does he speak? Does she speak? 5. What time you get up every morning? What time do you get up every morning? What time, guys, do you get up every morning? 6. What time the rest of your family get up? The rest of your family, it. What time does the rest of your family get up? 7. When they get up every morning. They, do they, very simple, huh? When do they get up every morning? 8. How well Edna speak French? How well Edna is a woman. Does Edna. How well does Edna speak French? 9. Where you usually meet Lois after the lesson? Where do you usually meet Lois after the lesson? Do you meet? 10. How much it costs to fly from Havana to Madrid? How much does it cost to fly from Havana to Madrid? 11. How often it rains during the month of April in your country? How often? You guys got it, huh? Does it rain? How often does it rain during the month of April in your country? Cool. 12. How much you generally pay for a pair of shoes? How much do you generally pay for a pair of shoes? 13. How long your meeting last? Your meeting, it. How long does your meeting last? 14. What time your meeting began and what time it ends? What time does your meeting begin and what time does it end? What time does your meeting begin and what time does it end? 15. Where you live? Where do you live? Where do you live? 16. How you feel today? Good? Do you feel well? So, how do you feel today? How do you feel today? 17. Where and go every day after work? Yeah, the computer is giving it away. So, where does Ed go every day after work? Where does he go? Where does Ed go every day after work? I don't know. 18. Where you eat lunch every day? You. Do you? Where do you eat lunch every day? And 19. What you generally do over the weekend? What do you generally do? What do you do? Do here is a verb, and here it's an auxiliary verb. What do you generally do over the weekend? And 20. Which movie star you like best? Which movie star do you like best? I don't know about you guys, but I definitely love Marilyn Monroe. I love Marilyn Monroe. 21. Why Jane want to study Russian? Okay, here it goes again, yeah? Why does Jane want to study Russian? Maybe she wants to get a better job, or she's dating a Russian man. I don't know. 22. How often you go for a walk in the park? How often do you go? How often do you go for a walk in the park? How frequently? How often? Now guys, part B. Change the following sentences to questions, beginning with the question word in parentheses. 1. They live in Boston. Where? Where do they live? Where do they live? They live in Boston. 2. The play begins at 8 o'clock. What time? What time does the play begin? What time does the play begin? The play begins at 8 o'clock. 3. They get home at 6 o'clock every night. When do they get home every night? They get home at 6 o'clock every night. 4. The travel agent speaks French poorly. So, how well does the travel agent speak French? How well does the travel agent speak French? The travel agent speaks French poorly, not so well. So 5. Those books cost $18.95. So how much do those books cost? How much do those books cost? Those books cost $18.95. 6. They travel by car. How? By car. How do they travel? How do they travel? They travel by car. 7. He comes here once a week. How often? Once a week. How often? What? How often does he come here? He comes here once a week. 8. She feels good. How good? How does she feel? How does she feel? She feels good. 9. Francine wants to learn English in order to get a better job. Why does Francine want to learn English? Francine wants to learn English in order to get a better job. That's a very wise decision. So go, girl. 10. They meet on the corner every morning. Where? On the corner. Where do they meet? Where do they meet? They meet on the corner every morning. 11. We go to the movies twice a week. How often? How often do you go to the movies? How often do you go to the movies? We go to the movies twice a week. Teacher, can I say how often do we go? Yes, you can, but it sounds weird, strange, like your memory is not good. So, how often do you go to the movies? We go to the movies twice a week. 12. The children go to the playground after lunch. Where? Where do the children go after lunch? The children go to the playground after lunch. 13. We learn 10 new words every day. How many? 10. How many new words do you learn every day? We learn 10 new words every day. How many what new words do you learn every day? This one is different, huh? We learn 10 new words every day. 14. They eat lunch in the cafeteria. Where? Where do they eat lunch? They eat lunch in the cafeteria. Great. 15. He drives a small car. What kind of car? What kind of car does he drive? He drives a small car. Me too, but I wish I could drive a big car. What kind of car does he drive? He drives a small car. And 16. This plate belongs on the shelf. Where? On the shelf. Where does this plate belong? Where does this plate belong? This plate belongs on the shelf. 17. The committee meets in room 10. Where? In room 10. Where does the committee meet? Where does the committee meet? The committee meets in room 10. And 18. She teaches us cooking. What does she teach us? What does she teach us? She teaches us cooking. And 19. It rains in the spring. When? In the spring. When does it rain? When does it rain? When does it rain? It rains in the spring. Beautiful rain. I love the rain, guys. 20. He gets up at 7 o'clock every morning. What time does he get up every morning? What time does he get up every morning? He gets up at 7 o'clock every morning. That's very late, huh? So 21, the last one. Yay! She goes to bed at 10 o'clock. When does she go to bed? That's very early. She goes to bed at 10 o'clock. She goes to bed at 10 o'clock. When does she go to bed? At 10 o'clock. So guys, that's all for now. I want to thank you again once more for watching my classes. If you like it, please like it. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and I see you next time. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.